Hey there everyone, Jason here. Today I'm just doing a little bit of a vlog. Such a weird topic. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about, I don't know, theft, stealing, getting mugged. It sucks. And I only say that because it actually happened to me just yesterday. Anyway, let me just tell you a story. So I am working late at my day job. I get off at about 10:30 at night and come home. I'd stopped on the way to get some food from a burger place and was walking from, like, literally from my car to my apartment. It's like a minute walk because I get out of my car underneath the covered parking, I cross a little bit of grass, and then go up the stairs and then get into my apartment, which was on the second floor. But halfway in between there, I had some guy come up to me and stop me. And sorry, it's all really kind of stupid at the end, but I mean it's a serious thing, and I guess that's what I'm trying to get out. But he stops me like halfway through and said, "Hey, bro." It's like, hold up just a minute. And I just like, dude, I've been working since 5 a.m. this morning, which that's another thing. I just want to go home. Please just leave me alone. Because in my mind, I just thought it was just some homeless guy just begging for stuff. But, you know, it's like, whatever. I tried to push my way past him, but he wouldn't let me go. And he was getting kind of like up in my face. And so I said, okay, what do you want? And so he goes and he looks at me, and his hand is like behind his back as if he's like tucking something away. And he says to me, it's like, hold on just a second, I'm just putting away my gun. I don't want any trouble. And I'm like, I don't want any trouble either. Let me just go home. I'm tired. I want to go home. And so he says, it's like, I just want to ask you something. It's like, just don't do anything. And it's like, I don't want to. It's like I'd really like to not have to call the cops. It's like, you're gonna call the cops on me? It's like, I don't want to. Just let me go, and you know, and I'll just go on my way. And I said, I'm just hungry. I want you to give me some food. And so I look at him and I said, dude, please just let me go. I haven't done anything. It's late. I want to go home. But he starts getting kind of antsy and starts like pushing the matter further. He never really touched me. He sort of more just like put his hands on my shoulders just to sort of like stop me a little bit. He he basically he's starting to like reach in his back where he said that he was putting away his gun. And so I'm getting a little bit freaked out by this. He had one point in time asked us like, where do you live? And that was like an immediate like super red flag, because the last thing that I want this guy asking me is take me back to your house and let me inside, because I don't want that. That's my house. That's my like place. I don't want anybody in there except for me and the people that I invite there. But anyway, so I basically tell him, I was like, look, fine, I'll give you something. So I go into my bag and I reach out and I grab a burger and I go to give it to him, but he's not happy with that. He's even more antsy. And he's just like, let me see what's in the bag. And I'm holding two bags. I'm holding the bag from Burger King and I'm holding a bag from Fry's where I work. So I'm like, just take this. It's food. I'm giving it to you. Just take it and go. And he's just not happy with what I'm giving. It's like, just let me look in the bag. So I said, fine, give me just a second. And I go to sort of put it down. And I said, I'm just going to put it down on the ground. So I'm like sort of like kneeling down a little bit so I can show him what's in the bag, because I don't know if the gun is real, but at the same time I'm not going to do anything that's going to cause any danger to myself. So I put the bag down and I'm basically kneeling down on the ground and I'm telling him, just calm down, I'm going to show you. And so when I'm doing that, he basically just grabs it. I've got like a burger in my hand that I was going to give to him. But he grabs everything else, like the Fry's bag and the Burger King bag. He just grabs it and starts running away. And as he's passing by, like, I grab the Fry's bag, and in hindsight, I should have done that, because if he did actually have a weapon, pop, maybe, I have no idea. But I grabbed it and I told him, I don't want you to have my wallet, because my wallet was in that bag, because, you know, drive-through, take out. Yeah, I didn't want to put it back in my pants, and I'm sitting down. So I grabbed that. So thankfully, he didn't get my wallet, and he runs away. So I'm a little bit nervous, anxious, scared. Adrenaline is kind of pumping, and I head up to the stairs to get into my apartment, and I'm halfway up there, and the guy turns back around the corner, and he's like yelling. It's like, I'm sorry, I'm just so hungry. I'm hungry, and I look at it, and I'm yelling from my stairs to him. It's just like at the corner of my, like, an apartment away, and I'm just yelling. It's like, you robbed me, and you're telling me that you're sorry. It's like, what shit is this? And it's just like, I'm just really hungry. It's like, I had to do this, and I haven't eaten in 6 days, and I'm just like, dude, what do you want from me? And it's like he's like motioning that he wants to give back the bags to me, and I tell him, just put it down. And he said, and he's still asking if he can have one, and I tell him, you can have the thing that's in my hand right now if you put that down. And he's still like really questioning what he's doing, and he's sort of like pacing back and forth on the spot. But then he starts like sobbing and yelling that he's sorry, and he like runs away. He runs like behind the dumpster, sort of crouches down a little bit, and then like moves off down around the corner. And that was it. That's like all I saw. It was just weird. It's like the guy purely wanted food and was willing to potentially like hold a person at gunpoint for food, which is just, it's insane. I mean, thankfully, he wasn't after my wallet, watch, phone, anything else I have. He wasn't like after like hurting me. It's just food. It's like, I didn't want to help him at first, but then when I saw that things were getting serious, I was going to try to at least appease him. I should have just given him everything that was in there, but it's like, I work hard for my stuff, and I bought my food. I didn't want to give it to him. I feel the same way about like homeless people that like sit on the corner, and like the homeless people that live in the Fry's that I work at, or sit outside begging for stuff. It's just like, work, do something to earn your keep. But it's like, I feel bad, but at the same time, it's like, you're holding me at gunpoint. Not really. He just threatening that he had a gun, and trying to steal stuff from me. That's the base thing. The funny thing is that direction that he was going, there was actually a police officer in the car already there taking care of something else. I don't know if he passed by him or went a different route, jumped a fence into somebody else's backyard or something like that. But I was already on the phone with the cops. I delivered my description of the gentleman, and not more than 2 minutes later, there's a police officer at my door, and he's asking me questions, interviewing me. And then he's getting like a radio call from somebody, and they basically picked up somebody that matches the description that I gave. So the police officer instructs me to go downstairs with him, get in the car that he's driving, and drive just down the street and around the corner to where the other police officers had another person like held. And so they just wanted me to ID the suspect. And so I get there, and it wasn't him. I knew immediately that it wasn't the guy, and and so go home. I'm a little bit like, just like I'm just let down that it wasn't, because I wanted the feeling in my head to like go away. But that's fine. Like, I thank the police officers. I thank them for their time, especially for the fact that they found somebody matching the description like so quickly. But I go back home. I get the case number from the police officer, and like 10 minutes later, the same police officer's at my door again, and he's basically telling me, it's like, hey, we found another person, can you come ID him? So he walked me down to his car again. I guess he was already like in the back of a squad car in my parking lot, so he took me around sort of a back way so that no one could see me. But I'm pretty sure that if the guy is getting pulled into this apartment complex again by police to get ID, that he'd probably know who it was that was IDing him. So I go and I look, and the guy that car is him. It's plain and simple. That's that guy. So they caught him, and like it took them like a total of 45 minutes, and it was, I don't know, it's like a sequence of lucky events that was like able to make that happen. I knew the direction that he was going. There was police already in the area. The description that I gave was as accurate as it could be to get two people that looked almost exactly the same, like clothing-wise, because the main description that I gave included the fact that he had red print on his shirt around the chest level, that he was like shorter than me, maybe like 180 or something like that, but like he was pretty average. But he had red print on the front of his shirt, and both of the guys were very similar, but they had red print on the front of their shirts. But I don't know, it was extremely lucky. I thank the police officers. I made sure that the police officer that had me ID the suspect thanked the police officer that caught the guy for me. I don't know, it was relieving, but at the same time, I still feel sick. Like, I don't know, I felt like I was going to throw up. And it was just because of just adrenaline and nerves. I don't know, it's just like, this is my home. And it happened 30 seconds from me being in the front door. There's families and kids that live in this area. It's just, how can I feel safe, or how can they feel safe when stuff like this is happening here? Granted, I've lived here for 3 years and nothing like that has happened before, so I have no reason to expect that stuff like this is going to start happening more. I actually feel safe in the area that I live in. There's like an elementary school and a boys and girls club just down the street. Yeah, we're close to the airport, and yeah, it's kind of close to the ghetto area of Phoenix, but it's not that bad. Like, it's actually okay. I've walked down the street at night at 2 o'clock in the morning and felt completely safe. Maybe I hurried, but that's just because, you know, nighttime. But anyway, a huge shout out to the police officer that helped me. I got a phone call this morning saying that he was going to go for his release hearing, like his initial hearing this morning at court, and I was told that if I wanted to go, I could. But because it was purely just food, he didn't like hurt me, he didn't damage anything, he didn't threaten to like assault anybody. It was just like a gun was hinted at, and I still don't know if he ever had a gun. But I chose not to go because he's gonna get what he gets based on my reports to the officer, and I don't need to be there. I don't need to make a deal over a bag of burgers. So, but anyway, I guess the whole point of this is it sucks to get robbed. It's even worse when it happens at home. I don't know how I would feel if this happened like inside my actual house. But if you ever, I don't know, if you ever get attacked or anything, like, just play it safe and try to make them happy, give them what they want, and then just call the police right away. Like, don't try to anger the person. Always stay calm. Always, you know, just try to stay relaxed. Because if you, I don't know, if you get like bent out of shape, it could only go bad. And I don't know, I've never had this happen to me before. I've never been robbed. I've always considered myself not to be much of a target. I'm 6'1". I am about like 300 pounds. I'm stocky. I look like I could take a guy, maybe. I don't know. So I've never considered myself a target. But I guess this could happen to anybody if the guy is desperate enough. So I don't know. That's basically it. Just a story. But yeah, if you ever get into trouble, just go with the flow, stay calm, and call police right away. Who knows? Maybe you'll get lucky and they'll catch the guy immediately like they did for me. But, I mean, I didn't expect them to catch him. But I got lucky. But yeah, we'll see you guys later. Stay safe. Bye-bye.